And people say, well, how do you know when to throw a deep jerkbait or a shallow one? And really the big determining factor for me is the water depth and the clarity. You know, a lot of the lakes that I fish back around home in Michigan, you know, have a lot of color to them. And for me, a jerkbait is not just a springtime lure, it's an all-season lure. I'll throw it in the summer, I'll throw it in the fall, I'll throw it in the spring. The clearer the water, the farther you can get the bass to come to it from. So you take a really clear lake, say like Gull Lake, one of my favorites, you want to get that bait down as close as you can. You know, those largemouth especially won't travel as far as the smallmouth to come up and bite your jerkbait. So having a deep running bait in water like that you can see 20, 25, 30 feet, you know, having a lure that gets down 10 or 12 feet is really going to make a big difference of getting into that zone where the fish will actually see it and bite it. Visibility is the #1 determining factor for me with that jerkbait. Is I want to have a bait that they can actually see. So as the water gets a little stained, we get some algae blooms in the summer, I want to have a lure that I can get down to the zone where the fish are actually at for that time of the year. So that's where a deep running model really comes into play. The way that I fish it is really not much different. You know, if I'm fishing real clear water, I like a more active retrieve. I want to give it a lot of action. You know, if the water's a little more stained, you know, I don't need to fish it quite as hard. I don't need to jerk it with as much motion. But I want that lure to definitely activate those fish. It's got a good rattle to it. It's got a good action to it. You know, this new Strike King bait will run 12 foot on 10-pound line, so I can really get down to the zone where those fish are at, fish it over the tops of that grass, things like that, to get where those bass are targeting the bait in the summer. So it's a great bluegill imitator. If you haven't thrown a deep jerkbait on these natural lakes, it's something you got to do.